Hello guys, welcome to another video. Today we have here a Alfa 147 to remove the dashboard. And why I have to do that is it is because this is the one, the dryer filter for the AC blew up, and we have silica all over the place, and for that we have to remove the dashboard, to remove the climate control box, the HVAC box, and for that we have to reach the expansion valve and also the evaporator. Okay, for that it is necessary to remove the dashboard. This is a very easy, in terms of this age of cars, very easy dashboard to remove. Okay, many of the people do not remove the dashboard to do this job, but I advise you not to do that because it takes longer and it is a lot more difficult to do. I will remove the dashboard to take out the climate control box altogether to the outside of the car, so in that way we can clean everything if it is cleanable, if that's a word. Okay, if we are not able to save it, we have to put a new one. Okay, for that we have to reach over here also on the front to remove the lines that go to the heater core. Okay, we have to remove the heater core lines. For that the coolant has to come off, at least most of it, of course. On this area of the car we also have to remove here the front bumper. Already did show you on the channel how it's done, but if you need any help, let me know on the comments below. Okay, we have to take out the compressor for repairing or replacing, because that is bad too because of the explosion of that dryer, and we have to replace the dryer itself and also here the front AC radiator. Okay, so in this video, yes, I will do the dashboard to remove and to assemble back everything again, so it will be a very thorough and complete tutorial, I hope. Okay, I hope for that. This will do for 147 GT, and most of 156 also will do. Okay, most of them. So I like to start by removing everything that is on the lower side of the dashboard. That is just my way. Okay. I also like to take out the steering column. One of the first things I like to remove. Normally I remove it all in one piece with the steering wheel, everything attached. I just have to take out here the covers so I can remove the connectors. I do have a video for the steering wheel. It is down on the description if you need to. Okay. Now there were supposed to be two bolts over here pointing up, one on each side, but they are not present anymore. And to remove this, normally you have to take out here the steering wheel, like I told you on the other video. But as you can see, if you do a bit of force, it will come out. Okay, so remove that and carry on. As you can see over here, you have here the little tabs where the screws would go. They are the same type of screws that go underneath over here. If you need to know where the bolts go, what bolts will go where, a great website, it is down on the description. It's called repairfiatforum.com. Okay, it will do for finding part numbers. It is excellent. It is an original website. Okay, this is out of place. So now over here, just remove everything that is connected, electrically connected to the steering rack, or sorry, the steering column. I do have a video for steering column on a Mito. If you want to know about that, it is down on the description. Really, I need two hands for this, but I hope I can. So like any other connector, put on the tab and push up. Now every time you are messing around with connectors and plugs, you should do something very special. Guess what? WD-40 all over the place, on the connectors and on this side as well. Especially if you are removing to be, well, this is not very, it's starting to rain actually, so I may have a lot of humidity, so the WD-40 not only will protect from the humidity, it will remove any oxidation that is present or may be present or may become present. Okay, this is the same as the one that I did on the My 156. This actually here already has the dielectric grease, I believe from factory, maybe because on the 156 some models the contacts over here heated up and starting to fail, and for that they applied here this grease. This is very nice work. Okay, so prevention is the main thing over here, right? Instead of removing here the connector, I just like to remove the ring altogether, the transponder ring. Much quicker also. So now see over here where the wiring goes, and if the wiring is all not touching the steering column. Try to write down everything that you need, so I know that I need 2 bolts. If you encounter anything out of place like this, but this just needs a bit of tape, so this is a clip that goes onto the wiring. Okay, but keep track of it. Okay, basically that is what I'm trying to say. Keep track of it, and so on the assembly, no surprises and no waiting for anything. Okay, now we can start here on the shaft to remove that bolt over there. For now, do not worry about the position. Okay, I already talked about this on the video for the Mito. You will just want to worry about that right before the disassembly or the removal of the steering column in relationship to the wheels, the position of the wheels. Okay, because before that, fortunately on this case we can reach the bolt quite easily. Okay, but imagine some cases where the bolt is not reachable. You have to turn the steering wheel, okay, to reach the bolt, and then remove it and whatnot, and only then you will straighten up the steering again to remove it. Okay, I do not recall if you have a master spline or not, or a main spline, but for that, because I do not remember, I want to play it safe. Okay, okay, I believe this is quite good. So one piece of advice is to remove the key, because next the steering wheel will lock, and that is a safety for you, so it does not spin like crazy, and with that much easier to keep track of everything. Okay, so this is it. Now we have 4 bolts holding down the steering column. Quite easy to do. A swivel tip like this will help you a lot. Okay, take out the hardest one first, just like on the starter. Okay, now most of like this one, most of the steering columns have a safety here where you have a hook, being plastic or being metallic, where it will not fall. This one has a plastic tab. Still I'm doing here some holding down with my hand. Now with my other hand, okay, I will pull on the shaft, and in that way pulling all in one piece the steering column. If the shaft wants to come out, right? Try to pry it open just a bit. If it is too much, you may end up having the steering wheel crooked, having the wheels crooked, so don't do that. You can also pry it up like this. Oh yes, try to wiggle it out. Okay, very nice. Now the bolts and everything, if you want to put it back in place to know where everything goes, you can. I myself will not do it because I already did remove a lot of dashboards. And okay, but just to show you where they go, because on video they may not be very easy to understand. The angle that I used, right, it was not very good. This bolt over here is for the shaft down there. It has a little bit of blue glue. You do not need to add any more glue than this, okay? And also this is the clip that goes over here to hold down to the steering rack, okay? This may make a little bit of noise. Now over here on the dashboard, not absolutely everything is necessary to remove. For example, here the vents and these dials over here, I will not remove them because I know there is no need for that. There is no screw underneath that, okay? And for that I will also prevent any damage on it, okay? Here on the cluster, the gauge cluster, I will remove it. I believe there is no bolt underneath there. Many mixed models have a very long bolt over there, but if I can recall, I do not have anything over there. But I like to take it out to see if everything is okay, and also to prevent noises. Most of the disassembly that I do on dashboards, I always remove more than necessary in order to, on the assembly, to do the prevention of noises, to apply the cloth tape, to apply some adhesive foam like I showed you on the 159, for example, and by 156, okay? It is down on the description if you want to know about that. So I will remove here the center stack, I will remove here this area, I will leave this in place, the glove box out, that sleeve over there for the air, for the window, will come out because we have bolts down there hidden. The bolts that hold down the dashboard are like this, okay? Every single one of them, it's like that. And the dashboard comes out as a cover, and the wiring and the frame itself is underneath here, the dashboard. And now also without the steering wheel, it is much easier to create space for working, right? Be careful, this is rubber touch. This is a 3mm head bolt, the same as the ones that go on the cover of the steering column, actually. So to identify them on air, it will be much easier. If you cannot find the covers themselves, you may be able to find those, and for that they are the same, okay? Maybe a little bit shorter, I have to see, okay? Oh, you have two more over here. Sometimes I forget, sorry. I will do this a bunch throughout the video. I will start to grab things to try to feel for them, feel if they want to move or not. Not necessarily to remove them, but to try to feel if they want to move or where they want to move, okay? So this is stuck over here. I believe it is just stuck. Can you see over there the movement? So I believe I do not have anything else over there. Maybe just with time it just got stuck together. So I will try to unstuck it somehow. Maybe like this. Yeah, easy. So I just was being just a little bit more on. So it will go not like this. Okay, it's just like so. I see this. And okay, we have no screws to be concerned about. Well, we have one over there. Okay, it's always good to remove this. Okay, just one main plug connector. This is the beauty of having a network. We have almost nothing to connect the parts. So no screws to be concerned about, but better safe than sorry. And also it will be nice for, yeah, we always have to remove that, because when removing the dashboard we have to have that, imagine that we have our cluster with the cover, the connector is still connected, right? So you have to disconnect it somehow. Might as well just remove it. Okay, so next we can, for example, start here with the radio. Well, we have down there the body computer, we can do that, but I want to take advantage of my position, being sit down over here, and do a little bit more work. The center stack is very easy to remove, like I showed you on the video for the climate control. It was malfunctioning on another 147, the second series one. Some extra wiring over here is not really appreciated by me. Not like this. And why is that? Because on the removal of the dashboard, maybe it will be a problem. But let's see. Be careful about any belongings. 2 more 3mm screws. Down here we may have, or we must have, 2 clips. Should be present. That's why I'm doing a force underneath, behind the unit over here. So trying to not to break them or lose them if they are still resistant. Take out the connectors. You may find some connectors that are not used, so they are spares. So the clips are here but wrongly mounted, I believe. The clips are here but wrongly mounted, I believe. So again here, just the idea is to free up the connectors so I can remove the cover that is the dashboard over here, in that way not causing any damages. Take a look over here, probably from factory or someone else messed around with this. This is not right, okay? The conduit must be fitted onto there. This will go to the feet of the passenger on the rear of the car. Okay, so you must engage it right like so, okay? I will take out the center console. I believe it is not really necessary, but I do not want to scratch anything, so I will remove it. We have this connector over here that we have to take out. Now over here we have two bolts that you can remove also. I do have a video for the adjustment of the handbrake and how to remove and replace the cables. If you want to know, it is down on the description, okay? Here on the back you have two bolts, two screws actually, in the middle of it too, but this one, it is not existent anymore. On the assembly I have to add that. For the armrest we have over here two covers that you have to remove to reach the bolts, okay? So I just remove here the covers, okay, with a screwdriver, and now I have here two bolts. Now, even though you may or may not have any electric accessories here on the center console, I do have one over here, a button, and I have here a light and the cigar lighter. Even though if you do not have anything, you may have the wiring waiting for something, and for that you may also have a master connector that you can remove, and for that remove everything in one go. Instead of that you have to remove plug by plug. Okay, in this way I believe this is the master one. Even if it is not, I will take it out anyway, if I can. Not with one hand, okay? So we are very much free. Everything is moving, okay? So take out that. One thing I like to do on these cars is to brake the handbrake a lot, really, to make space for the center console. Okay, if you want to adjust that to be able, you can. Now I have a tip here for you. This seems to bother a lot of people, and it is true, okay? You have a play over here. There's nothing to do with the video, but I'd like to show you. On the multi-jet engines and GTD engines, the selector, the top part of the selector is bolted in. And with time, with age, the screws get loose. Problem is, on the other side we have a nut, and to reach it we have to take out the tunnel cover on the underside of the car, okay, to take out this play. I already showed you how to do that on the video of the gearbox of the GT and 147 and 156. Okay, on top you can go ahead with something, okay, but on the bottom side you have to reach it with something else, with another wrench, but you cannot do it from the top of the car, okay. You have to lower the tunnel cover, no other way, okay, absolutely no other way. On the gasoline engines it seems to be different, the selector, and for that you do not have these bolts, you have another assembly, okay. Right now removing here the bottom cover of the glove box, the cover that allows you to reach the filters, the cabin air filters. I do have a video for that down in the description. Now I am removing the bottom 6 bolts for the glove box cover, the door. On the 156 I believe they are Phillips screw head. Over here they are 25 Torx. Now take out here these straps. Take out here. This allows you to open and close the glove box more gently, and also limit the opening of them. You have some wiring over here. So very straightforward, you have a bolt down there that holds down everything. Next you want to take out here the light, for example. I already did this on the channel on the video for the failure of the climate control. Let's aparte toda. Also you have here a connector for the switch, and remove it. So let's start by removing the actual bolts for the dashboard cover. So you can start to see the movement of it. Okay, we have some bolts over there on top of the windshield that we have to remove yet. Of course, we only removed 2 so far, okay, so many more to go, and let's keep going, okay. So here in Portugal, this usually does not break. Yes, we have a lot of heat in the summer, but we do not have a lot of breaking parts. One of those tabs, like this one, just fall out, and the other one may be there. I have to rest that, okay? So 4 5mm bolts on the upper portion of the dashboard over here. Okay, about the airbag system, you do not have to do anything right now, anything at all, okay? and over here I believe also it's not necessary to do anything at all. But again, we'll do the 4 bolts and then shake the thing to see how it wants to move and go from there. Be careful with the windscreen, it is very fragile from the inside out. Now with the magnet it will be easier to remove this, okay? And then to put in a little bit of paper will do. So we have 2 other more on the other side of the car. And this is a Chinese windscreen, so really triple care. Moves. Oh, it moves. Look at that. Now I have to do with the tripod, okay? Yeah, I have to take out the airbag for this case. Okay, not very difficult to do. So the cover over here has 2 pins over here, like I told you on the short, and it has a buckle that screws into the cross member. So you have to take out the screws for the buckle, okay? And then I think the airbag itself can stay there, if I recall. See, now the buckle goes around in behind the airbag, and when pushing up the dashboard it may come out, okay? If not, we have to see. I really did not want to work here the pins. They are very expensive and a bit hard to find. I'm attempting to pull up on the dashboard. So it will not come off on the 156, it does, in this it will not. So I will remove the bracket for the airbag itself and try to lower the bracket with the airbag. Okay, 4 bolts, 2 over here, 1 over there, another one up there. Anyway, I really have to remove the airbags anyway on the next phase, at least, to be able to take out the crossmember. So no worries there. Check out for any more wiring. So as you can see, it is out, and it appears to be a very frightening vision to see all of this like this, but it's just nuts and bolts and parts, and if you have a decent camera, you can photograph whatever you want and do it step by step. Okay, really not difficult at all. About here, the airbag, I just pull it down. As you can see, 1 bolt is still there, just to be easier. Okay, and now my focus point here is the climate control box, and I have to remove it out. I want to remove it out, more like that, to be able to do what I need to do. Okay, so the most frightening thing over here is obviously wiring, no doubt about that. Yes, it is. The cables are formed already to whatever they want to go. So if you want to pull them to a side, when you want to put it back again, if you notice that they are very stiff or very awkward, it is because they are not correct. Okay, do not forget there are plugs over here that are not used for some cases. Another thing that I saw over here, I have a ground thing. Someone forgot to put a nut over here. This is a connector for several grounds, and this is not doing anything, almost anything. So yeah. Now remember on the video that I did for the issue on the climate control on the 147, so these are the motor regulators that we have over here. Okay, the one goes for the temperature, another one goes for the position from which the air comes out, and this is the assembly. okay, 3 screws, 1 plug, and taking out here the motor itself. If you want to by hand move the cock that it has inside, you can switch the position of the air and or the temperature of the air too on the other one, of course. Okay. So we have our battery disconnected, so there is no issue with the removal. So this is not used, okay, with the removal here of these connectors of the airbag. Possibly even not necessary all the way, but we have here this wiring that we have to take out. So I will remove here this area over here of these conduits for the air. I have to create space to pull the climate box out, and I think I really have to mess with this cross member. Not difficult, just 2 bolts, one over here and another one on the other side. Yeah, that's it, and it is really easy, no issues there. Okay, so my idea is to pull this up, and for that this also makes part of it. If I can recall, it is not removable. It is removable, but well, I think it's easier to do it. Okay. Okay, I just pull on the little tab over there and pull just a bit on wires. So I will go ahead and take out here this support, this brace for this because of the cross member. I told you earlier that we had 4 of these, but we do not. We have 2 on top and this one for the brace. Now here on the bottom side, 2 bolts, 5mm head hex over here. Very easy, simple. Just remove them. Or leave it, okay? Whatever you want to do. I don't like to leave it because sometimes I can hurt my hand or something. And no, it is not painted, it is not coated, nothing at all, okay? Just bare metal. This is the bottom bolt for the climate box. And here we are on the area of the blower. And the more I go, the more I see that I have really to remove or to put to aside the cross member. Now we have here some more wiring to remove or to put to aside. As I am removing this to the bench, I will take everything out. So how can I do that? Yes, I know I have to do a video for that, for the speed regulator. but I can show you on the bench, okay? I can also show you on the bench. What the? Okay. For this, I believe it is not necessary to unplug it, but this one I have to. And we have here 4 bolts on top of the brace of the Crossmember, 5mm head bolts. I had to cut down a wrench for this, okay? On that side, 2 more. So now you want to disconnect everything from the Crossmember wiring, and basically that is it. This one, how is it? Some weird wiring here or something. Okay. Remember the WD-40 after all of this. Remember my video about the Punto, the 188 or 176, one of those. The crank no start. Okay. This connector here, for example, is not being used for anything, but I still do not want to damage it, because if I do, it will start to make noises, and noises are very, very bad. What is this? What is this after all? Okay, it's unclipped. Okay, that's enough. Okay, it's just unclipped. I believe not broken, or is it? Okay, not broken. Yeah, not broken. Possibly I will be able to leave the thing in place, the body computer. In fact, by removing these two, over here, it will do. Moves, goes back, and now we have this one over here, 15 and also on the other side. I just have that wiring over there to take care of. Also, the latch over here, I have to remove it. Now on these holders over here, you can push out that pin, and then you have to see where it falls to reuse it again. The same thing on this one. Just have to find the other one. Maybe near. Now cut down these zip ties. Somewhere else is binding. It's kind of a dual thing. We have to move the box and the crossmember at the same time. Again, be careful about the windows. One more thing. We have two bolts over here, two screws to hold down this upper piece of the crossmember. It will come up with the crossmember, but I just did that because I could not recall. Come on. It's over here, this part over here. Damn it. I have some wiring over here, nothing too special, just a clip to undo one of those clamps, plastic clamps for the wiring. Hello. Now really, it's really getting scarier by the minute, right? Yeah, it's not a pretty sight, I know. So I now have to pull this wiring all the way to the driver's side, in my case, okay, my country, and nothing much else to do. Just have to take out the coolant hoses and the AC lines, and that's it. And at that point it will come out. For that procedure, it's not good, okay, it's not pretty. It's very, very difficult to do, but it is obviously doable, okay. Okay, over here you have the intake for the outside air, and You have here the blower on the bottom side. You can release and replace the blower. Okay, let's go. Just pulled it down over here. Okay. Now the box is completely loose except for the hoses. And some wiring, I believe. Possibly. Okay, was just the wiring for the motor, for the circulation, okay? The circulation. For the flap motor. So here on the engine side, you remove here the diesel, on this case, on the diesel car, the diesel filter, the filter holder, and also the box for the glow plugs, the glow plug controller box, again for the diesel, okay? And this way to try to gain access here to these aluminum pipes that carry the freon to the interior of the car. And lower over there you have the hoses that go for the heater core. So very straightforward. You have just one bolt, 10mm head bolt for the freon, and you have two clamps with a 7mm worm gear over there that you have to remove. Put a tray on the ground to catch any antifreeze, okay? And then just pull onto the hoses, and over there pull onto the pipes. Be careful with the seals, the O-rings that it has. There's one on each of the things, of the fittings. It will attach to the valve, the expansion valve, okay? The expansion valve is on the inside of the car, and it will be replaced in over there. Nothing too special about that, just carry on. I already put some spray on there to be easier, and just get on with it. Then we are able to relieve here the box out of the car, and in that way open the box somewhere on the floor, on a bench, on somewhere, okay? If you need videos for the diesel filter and for the control module for the glow plugs, I have them down on the description. Remember that when you have a fault code regarding here the glow control module, it is not the module itself that is bad. One of the glow plugs is, and you have to refer to the technique that I use for controlling the glow plugs, okay? Even new, sometimes they are bad. So now is the time to, or before this, that was this case, you have to remove the freon. For that, even if you remove all of the freon, even with vacuum at the end, like I like to do it, 1 or 2 days later, on this case months later, I still have some residual pressure that will appear once I disconnect the pipes. So don't be too scared about that. A little puff will appear, okay? Sometimes, or most of the times, in order to stop the seals or the O-rings to fly off, I do the bolt almost all the way. Then I try to wiggle out the pipes to break free any freon. And in that way, because it is the freon that makes the O-rings fly off, okay? That puff that I told you about. In this way, but also you must always, at all times, use new seals, but sometimes that is impossible, right? And another thing, most of the times is way better to reuse old original parts than to use new aftermarket ones, mainly seals and rubbers and everything like that. Now, one doubt that I have, and I already talked about this in other videos, most of the videos that I do, they are getting really long, and I really love the response of them on my channel, which means people really enjoy them. But I see most of the videos of other channels that cut down on details. I believe, sorry, I have a bolt in the washer. Yes, a bolt in the washer. I believe this way that I'm doing my videos, it's way more difficult to do and time consuming for me for editing and recording. but I believe it is better for you. So for that, if you want to give your opinion down on the description, down on the comments, let me know if I'm doing the right thing for you or not. If you want things more edited, more summarized, let me know, okay? Please. About this hose over here, this goes for the power steering. You also can remove it and take advantage of that to do a flush on the system, or a cleaning, or a replacement, or whatever, a maintenance on the on the power steering system. I will not, because this is quite new. The car has a quite good service on it, so I'll try to avoid that, okay? So very tediously take out here the clamp. The position of the clamps is not very important. From factory they go like the right one, but you can do it however you want to do it, okay? To do the assembly. So it was a bit hard, but the hoses are off. Just have to twist them a bit, and now we can pull onto the climate control system. So we have here this side cover that we remove to reach here this expansion valve, and we are to replace it and then to clean over here the evaporator. Best thing to do will be to replace it altogether, but it is not available anymore, at least for now. And with that, let's do it like this. To remove it, you take out here these clips all around, take out this cover and take out the thing out, okay? For the heater core, as you have this out, for this case it's not important because you have here a very high quality maintenance and paraflow up it is being used, but it is a very important time to replace it if you have any doubts about that. Also, you have here the exit for the condensation, the water that condensates for the AC system, and it goes to the outside of the car in front here of these hoses, okay? This is the expansion valve that I told you about. You should only use the quality ones, because if they fail, and they do fail, expect to remove everything again out, dashboard out, to replace it again, okay? We will remove here the evaporator altogether. We have to take out here this cover, and if you follow, you have here all of this line that we are removing. For that, we have to remove here the servos and the servo plate over here also.
É. Aqui, atenção. Aí. Ó, por acaso, vai lá, vai lá. Vai lá, vai lá. Fio de habitáculo.
Not too bad.
Sim, vai espirrar. Vamos lá ver como é que a gente vai fazer. Vai espirrar por aqui. Tá. Então vamos embora. Cuidado aí. Posso? Então.
Não, é por trás.
É aqui.
I've been a little bit busy receiving cars over here to work. As you can see, a lot of cars. This Citroen over here is from the AC guy, and they were the owner of the car and the AC guy were here to clean the lines and everything else. They already done that. I will show you in a minute how it's done there on that evaporator. Okay, we have here the new condensator. Okay, this one, the old one was very rotten, so it's not, we'll not reuse that. The lines are already cleaned out. Again, I will show you in a minute how it's done over there with that machine. It was okay. New O-rings all around. The compressor itself is being repaired or rebuilt as we speak. I do have a video for that. It is down on the description, so if you want to check that out, you can do it. We also will replace, obviously, the filters. For removing of the or replacing of the filters, I have a video down on the description. Today is Saturday. I'm receiving here cars, 2 more to go, and for this a lot of content for you guys, okay? And so here we have it. It is all cleaned up over here. We have a new valve over here, and everything is assembled. We have new filters. By the way, the filters to replace, I already have a video for that. You just have a over there on this side. Let me see. We have a small door over here with 2 bolts over there, one over there. You take out the cover and replace that. The heater core is in excellent condition, so we do not have to do anything to it, okay? And the evaporator over here is already taken care of. These ones are not prone to rust, at least here in Portugal, so they are very good. Also the heater core over here, you can see that is very good. And that's that. For the functioning of this system, I already do have a video for this on the whiteboard, but I can do a resume over here so you can understand a little bit better. So you have here this intake over here from the atmosphere, and you have this from the inside of the cabin. To choose whatever you want to do, you have this servo motor over here. So the motor sucks in the air and goes through the filters. This resistance over here is not to heat up the air, okay? Many people confuse this, okay? These fins over here are here to cool down the resistor itself, okay? Not to heat up any air. So the air goes over here, firstly through the evaporator, even though, like I said on the video, even though if you are using hot air first, you are always passing through the evaporator first. In that way you can have a very much cleaner and drier hot air, okay? And only then through the choosing of the doors on the inside of the system, you can choose between hot, cold, and everything in between, okay? Then you have the area where the air can go up, down, and on the front of your face, okay? So that is that, okay? So next we want to assemble everything. I will put here the cover, I will assemble the servos, I will put this inside of the car and assemble everything again, okay? I also will do here some maintenance. You can see over here a little bit of grease. Sometimes you can hear the doors, well, these doors over here are very high quality and then they have rubber, but you can hear you can hear some squeaking. Sometimes that happens, and now is the perfect time to take care of that. I have here some rubber grease that I can use, take out here these bushings and use that to prevent noises, okay? This is also possible to do with everything assembled in place, but here on the center it is not, okay? So also you can do that here on this one. Take care of that. This is very common to do some noises, some squeaking noises. So some of these cars do have additional heating. So we have here this area that is not being used on this car, where you have a entrance for a resistance pack. When you have your car very cold and you still do not have enough hot coolant on here on the heater core, you have that electrical resistance over here that is inserted over here to provide you with that while the car is not hot yet. That is very common now on the electric cars, okay? But back then we still have this technology. It was very common to have, depending on the level trim on the cars. My 156, for example, does have that, by the way, and it is working perfectly, okay?
O cabo. Corta o cabo?
Sim.
Tiraste uma foto do interior aqui atrás do carro.
Sim.
Vai, menino.
If you are wondering, I'm pressing on the tab over there on the inside, pushing the tab out, and pulling this out also. Okay, as you can see, everything is lubricated and everything is ready to go. Everything is assembled and screwed in. Also, I have here now this assembly. So with that, only one movement here of this regulator can perform on several of the doorways. Okay, in this way. Everything is with this excellent grease. The special asking for the customer for this. Normally I will not do it because it is very time consuming and the customers normally do not want that, but this one does. Okay, so everything that rubs on something you should lubricate it, okay? If you still have grease from factory, you can. Just leave it at that. This one was a little bit dry. Now it's time to insert this portion over here, like so. Now, this one over here, it has a special way to go, so a special teeth, but this one does not. So what you have to do, possibly, most likely, is to assemble in whatever position, assemble all of the wiring without the dashboard, turn on the ignition and turn on the air to all the way cold or hot. Well, not the air. These are the positions. Okay, so the positions all the way to one side. In that way, this goes all the way to one side too, and insert and modify this position to make sure the positions are the same as the ones that you pick on the dashboard. Okay, so we will do that. It was not me to do this assembly, it was the AC guy, so I do not know exactly where was the position of this whole thing, so I will do that. Okay, so this bottom one is in place. Now this one, it will be in whatever position. I will just put here the screws, not to forget any of them. This grease smells beautifully, so it will be good for driving the car. It's not that horrible grease smell. Okay, so in this position we can assemble everything on the car, the cross member, the wiring, and then if necessary we will regulate over here these positions. Okay, so here on the car everything is assembled again. I did the replacement here of this front AC radiator. For that you have a video down on the description. It is on a 156, but it is exactly the same thing on the V6 2.5. And but again, if you need any tips, any videos, then tell me down on the comments below. Here on the suspension, I removed the upper wishbones, the control arms, to do the maintenance on them, left and right. They were squeaking, and now I have everything as it should be. Okay, if you need videos for that, they are down on the description on the playlist for suspension issues and solutions. Now I will do a very thorough cleanup here on the carpets and try not to vacuum out any of the bolts, and so in this way we have a better assembly. Okay, more clean assembly. This looks very odd and bad yes, but looks can be deceiving. But before that I forgot here two things, some foams and some things, esponjas, pumas. This will prevent noises, vibrations, and so many other things. Try to put everything as it was. So I think it was like this. Try to put everything as it was. Look at that. Oh, look at that. As it was or better, because sometimes from factory things can slip out. By the way, this is Japanese climate control. This is Denso. Very high quality. Then on the car we can do the final touches. I think we are done. This blanket over here possibly also will help out with thermal conditions. Do not know. So on the back of the thing we have here again the heater core, we have the AC lines, and we have the exit for the condensation. And on the car we have the same thing. We have the heater core, we have the AC lines, and we have the exit for the condensation, which has an elbow pointing down. Okay, normally it will not clog up, at least here in Portugal with our climate and our rodents and animals, so they will not clog this up. But if in your case the floor of the car is filling up with water from the condensation, check out that little, just a tip over there on the outside of the car, just a bit of pipe pointing down. Okay, just see if that's all unclogged. It's really starting to get hot here in Portugal. As you saw, I am already wearing my famous flip-flops. Just a bolt down there to hold down this a bit better, just by hand. Something underneath over here. It's good. Now on the other side we have to connect the hoses for the heater core, connect the AC lines. We can do that afterwards, after everything over here on the inside, because doing that operation can push out here the HVAC system. And I do not want that, so we can do it however you want. The exit for the condensation does not have anything that you have to do. Okay, it's just it is already done from the moment you insert this. Okay. Click, click. Okay. Click. Now this goes to the Crossmember. Also, nice thing to do is to record everything while you're doing. Taking out the dashboard is not an annual thing, so I do not recall absolutely everything, but I try not to cheat in looking into the footage, because I do want to learn. I do not want just to copy, even myself, but do not want that. Copy will mean that if you are copying something, you'll never learn, right? No matter what comes, I try so hard. So this goes into there. Okay. If you do not know, leave it be. Okay, to a side, and assemble what you know that you know. So possibly we'll do this firstly with the cross member. Okay, this goes over here, like that. Okay. On this white tape over here, it means that you have on the back side of the cross member, you have a clamp, a plastic clamp, holding down to that piece of wiring over here. This is the most common to be badly assembled or misassembled, something like that. Okay, nothing too bad it will happen about that, but it can create a kink or something, or some vibration, some noise. Remember that you are also trying to eliminate or prevent vibrations and noises, so try to do a better job. 1 or 2 hours more on this kind of jobs, it's not terrible, it's never ideal, right? But it's not the end of the world. I prefer to take a little bit longer on the assembly, and before you know it, voila, it's done. So okay, this one goes to the front of the cross member, this one goes to the ignition, this one goes to the blinkers, the thing, the stocks, this one goes to the radio, over there. Okay, everything is coming along. Yeah, right? So here we have the clamps over here. This car has 2. One may not be in use. Sometimes that happens, even though you have it, it may not be in use. This one I know for sure it was. This one you can see clearly by the dust, it was not being in use. So we will check out if it is able to be used or not. If not, no problem. It is prepared for other wirings, other assemblies, okay? Aftermarket wire is not so good. Yeah, I know. This all this thing goes in one go. So the climate control goes with this to its place. I know, but I'm only one, so I needed another person beside me. And I cannot do that, okay? So I have to do it like this. It will work, okay? I will pull this a little bit out and it will be no issue. I do not want to break the glass. Oh, no. Ow. Ow. I know I have that bolt down there, but still I will try to insert this as is. Another thing that I'm taking over here, this cross member will stop me to regulate there that motor. Must push on. Be careful about the glass. Do a bolt just to see if you are near enough anyway. We are not. Come on, getting heavy. Nope. Okay, just leave it hanging over here like this. Try to start to understand how does the climate control wants to fit in to this frame. Some forces are being applied over here because of foams and something like that and things like that. So try to see if you are not forcing anything that it should not be forced. Just try to feel everything, okay? So we have a positive result. Yeah, and this starts to be very heavy too. So the issue I was having is that the connector for these pipes over here was a little bit crooked because I pulled out the HVAC system a little bit crooked, the last clips, and that made my insertion over there a little bit hard. I just had to, on the inside of the car, pull it a little bit through towards the hole, and voila, everything just came into place. And yes, now yes, we have everything very nice, very loose, and everything goes to place very well, getting heavier and heavier. So you also want to consider the weight of it. That will be a thing during the assembly. You have to consider that to understand if everything is going to place without hitting, without fouling on anything. Yeah. Back there, that wiring over here is already connected on that plastic lamp. And let's carry on, right? So the next step is really to start to pass the wiring through everything, start to connect everything. But before the dashboard itself, I want to put here the ignition, the modules, to understand if the climate control here is working 100%. Because if not, imagine that I have to remove everything again. So I want to have absolutely sure that everything is okay before I carry on, okay? So this connector over here is not connecting to anything, it was just dangling over here, and you want to secure this however you can. So we have here a clip. If you find the hole, you can try to use it. That's what she said. Nice. People say I'm crazy, but it works. Possibly this wiring is from this side. We will try that. I think not. I recall it will not. Or possibly just because this one goes to the ignition, but this one will not. Try it like this, okay? For now, we'll try that. So, and then I think this is it. I think this is it. And then when we have the rest of the things in, if it does not coincide, We will back up. This one was disconnected, I believe. This one goes to a keyboard. That one, the other one, I found it and I saved it, and now I don't know where is it again. This connector over here was on the back side like so, but I believe it is on the front, because I have two clips, two holders over here, one for the one that was here, and another one was empty. Maybe it was meant to be. It's broken, that's why it was not here. The thing is broken, so we have to do something. We have to possibly do the same or do better. We'll see. Okay, we'll see with a zip tie or something. We had zip ties over here on top from factory, so we will continue with that. Oh, I know. This one was to the center console. This one Yes, okay. Okay. Well, sometimes life is just not fair. This part over here is in place now. It is in place now. You have to put it before putting in the cross member. That was not fun. Not at all. Well, carry on. Oh, yeah. So the steering is here just for now, so we can do the adjustment of the thing. So I have here the steering wheel, I have here the climate control unit, and I'm ready to start it. Well, just turn on the ignition. Okay, and now I can choose here the positions over here, and I can see over here the flaps working all the way, so the position that I chose is the correct one, or close enough so it to do the necessary adjustments by its own. So everything is nice. The temperature also, oh no, the temperature is over here. The temperature also works. So not very easy to hear, but you can feel over here, like I told you on the other video, for the temperature. Okay, so this way you can continue with our assembly, and the final assembly there for that matter. I'm sorry about my voice today. I have a bit of an issue with my allergies, seasonal allergies that is, and my voice, eyes and everything else is very bad. You can see this white plate moving as we need it. It's quite mesmerizing to see, actually. Make sure to choose several options, and in every option that everything will work out perfectly. Also here, the door for the recirculation. Okay, everything works beautifully. no squeaks, which means that this lubricant is very good. At least it seems like it. Oh, let's go. We have here the connector for the airbag inhibitor. Next I will tight here the airbag for the passenger. So we have here 2 bolts for the belt, and 2 more over there and 2 more over here. Now the upper one maybe we'll do from the stereo hole. Sim.
Fazem tapetes pretos ou cinzentos.
Não se passa nada, né? So it's already starting to look like something, right? My basic idea here is to connect everything electric so I can start the car and see if every function is working. Every single thing here on the stocks, for example, the wipers, radio, the climate control, of course, lights, well, everything. You saw me here connecting a wire for the antenna. And just make sure everything is working correctly. The steering is nice. Well, you can drive the car and see if the steering is not crooked. or crooked or something, and well, just check for all of that. After that, after doing everything on the assembly side, or in the meantime, you can do a fill up on the Freon over there and see if the repair was successful or not. Okay, I hope so. I really hope so. The work on that area was done with the specialist, as you could saw, and my side of the job over here is done. Be careful over there. We have a hole with the impact switch. Sometimes working over here you can release that and then the car will not start. Sometimes when joking around on a workshop, colleagues of yours can do that as well. So if the car does not start, and if you have a funny friend, check that out if it is deployed or not. Okay, so putting here the covers, putting here the shaft for the steering. So we are close to being done, and over there on that area I already assembled the fuel filter and the glow plug control module. About the glow plug control module, I do have a lot of videos for that. Remember, for the filter also I have videos for that. I have new coolant over there. We only use here the Busso up for the coolant. In that way you could see that the protection is excellent. You can see also here, for example, this reservoir, which is the original one. You can see by this clamp over here, it is the original one. It is in this pristine condition, so it is not that expensive, and you will be able to save your car for a long time. Okay, let's go. So over here you can see clearly that we have a spline, a master spline, that you have to insert over there on the steering rack. Okay, so for that, this movement, as the steering wheel is locked, you will have to unlock it with a key, obviously, but please take care to not to deviate too much the steering wheel, so you do not have a problem on the clock spring. Okay. Okay, we are in. Now the bolt. Okay, now the airbag light may be on with a message, because remember that we turned on the ignition before because of here the climate control thing. Okay, and maybe because of lack of freon. Okay, so for that you have to do the diagnosis to see if you just have to clear the fault codes or to do some diagnosis, because something may be missing. Okay, so for example, I have here this connector that I think do not carry anything for the airbags, but you never know. Okay, let's see. So let's start the engine. Remember that we have our fuel filter off, so with the start maybe a little bit off. We still have this malfunction over here. We had that before starting the disassembly, and I thought the issue was this ground over here, because the nut was not in place, but apparently that is not the issue. Okay, I did not do the diagnosis for that, because the customer already has a diagnosis from another workshop, but I may want to take a peek on that. the blinkers, okay, the cruise control, yeah, and now the wipers. I have to take out my coat over there. Okay, for the back window also works. The horns, the volume, yeah, all works. Okay, so nice. Also here, yes, it does. Everything is working over here too.
Caixa. Acho que já me esqueci de pôr aqui esta coisa.
So in the meantime, doing here a running on of the engine to see if no diesel leaks are present and no coolant leaks are present. Do here a full road test on the car to see if no noises are apparent, if everything is working correctly. Most of the things we already checked, and you can see now that we have a complete car. At least it seems like it. Okay, and yeah, I really think. Hello. I really hope you like this video. As you can imagine, this video over here is very long. It is very long, but it is very long to edit. Well, this is missing still. Okay. Okay, small things. Okay. It's very time consuming to edit, and I'm really considering stopping altogether with the channel because of various things, personal things, and also work related things. Okay. Every video that I'm doing for the past month or 2 months are possibly the last. I'm not saying there are no more videos for the channel. I have opportunities to do a lot of videos for the channel, but it is not paying off. Absolutely not. I'm doing this for respect for my earlier viewers, and for respect for my work also, and I really think I am helping out a lot of people, but it's getting it to a point that is being a little bit or a lot of effort for such a small return. So yeah, guys, see you on the next one, possibly. Bye.